So we're gonna kind of just talk about building a nation with money, with budgeting. Okay. How many of you guys have a budget that you go by? So we just gonna talk about going over budgeting, because we see it a lot of times when it come down to like different feast days and stuff. We lag when it come down to different things on paying our money and stuff, okay? So Lord's will, just kind of go over budgeting a little bit, talk about put the scriptures with, okay? Give me Ecclesiastes 10 and 19.
The book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 10 and verse 19.
So the topic of this class is going to be money is a defense. That's going to be the title of the class. Money is a defense. Come on.
A feast is made for laughter.
So when we come for Purim, we're going to want to come together and have a feast, okay? Come on.
And wine maketh merry.
So everybody like to have a little wine and stuff, a little strong drink. Come on.
But money answereth all things.
So if we ourselves don't have money, it makes us hard to survive in this world and society. Would you all agree? So we got to have money. And I tell you, without money, it's hard to maneuver to go out there and pay your rent, put gas in your cars. So we all got to have money. Read that one more time.
A feast is made for laughter, and a wine maketh merry. But money answereth all things.
So with the upcoming feast, a lot of you guys, like I say, you probably pay your fees. And this is not to bash anybody, but it makes us hard to prepare for stuff when we do stuff at the last moment, So we got to make sure we're working on trying to get our stuff in ahead of time and plan ahead and stuff, okay? Give me Sirach 40 and 18. So it's like, what's your mindset when you preparing this stuff,
The book of Sirach, chapter 40 and verse 18. To labor and to be content with a man hath is a sweet life. But he that findeth a treasure is above them both.
So to have our money and to have something that we can be encouraged about, it's a great thing, okay? So Lord's will, we can labor, to have the things that we want out this life. If we just lay around and be a bum and beg all our life, what kind of treasure is that? That ain't no treasure. Because when you see me coming, what you going to do? You ain't going to want to see me. Every time somebody be begging for some money, you be like, man, here they go. If you see them call on the phone, if they ain't called in a long time, you see their number call, you say, man, here they go. So to have a good treasure, to labor for our own self, it's a great thing, If you guys, if you got anything you want to add, you can add to it and stuff. Give me Matthew 25 and 23.
The book of Matthew, chapter 25 and verse 23. His Lord said unto him, Well done, good and faithful servant. Thou hast been faithful over a few things, and I will make thee ruler over many things. Enter thou into the joy of the Lord, of thy Lord.
So that's what we want the Most High to say to us, So if you utilize your money and your funds the same way, don't you think the Most High, he's grateful for when we utilize our money and not mess over it and stuff, So for us to be rulers in the kingdom and over this kingdom, we got to know how to establish our money and stuff, rule our money and stuff. If we don't, how we gonna tell another man how to do something, So we all got to have the mindset that we got to examine ourselves, look at our budget. And I'm telling you now, this class is for me. Because each and every day, I'm not gonna lie to you. Sometimes, I've been talking with my wife. We've been trying to work together and stuff. But sometimes I just spend for no reason. Just no reason. So I know I've got to have a budget. So in order for me to be good and faithful, I got to make sure that I'm working with my money and stuff and making sure I'm taking care of what I need and stuff. Give me Jeremiah 29:5.
The book of Jeremiah, chapter 25, 29, and verse 5. Build ye houses, and dwell in them, and plant gardens, and eat the fruit of them.
Come on.
Take ye wives, and beget sons and daughters, and take wives for your sons, and give your daughters to husbands, that they may bear sons and daughters.
So in this captivity, we all got to seek to have houses. Right now in this captivity, like here in Nashville, ain't nothing getting cheaper. The rent getting higher and higher. You got to have a place to live. So our mindset has got to be able to take care of ourselves. So if your mindset ain't like that, I don't know where your mindset is. Come on.
That ye may be increased there, and not diminished.
So we got to be increased. We got to want to be able to get out there and have something for ourselves and stuff. If we don't, what are you laboring for? You know, and the first thing is you got to have a budget. Give me where my sheet at? So, in order to be successful in our finances, we got to have a budget plan. We got to. If you don't, what do you got? You just free flowing, just doing whatever you want to do. So you got to have a budget. You got to make a budget. If you don't have a budget, you're not just looking at your money and stuff. Give me Sirach 42:7.
The book of Sirach, chapter 42 and verse 7. Deliver all things in number and weight.
Read that again.
Deliver all things in number and weight, and put all in writing, that thou givest out or receivest in.
So with your budget, you got to put it down. You got to put it on paper. If you don't put it on paper, you ain't going to be able to see it. You got to put your budget on paper or put it on a computer, put it on a spreadsheet or something. Get my next slide. So a budget. What is a budget?
What is a budget? A budget is a written record of the money that flows in and out of your household every month.
So we just read that in what? Put all things in writing. So in order for you to be able to look at your budget, you got to put it in writing. You got to. If you don't see it, you're not going to know what you're doing, what you got coming in, what you got going out. You got to be able to put it in writing. Come on.
A personal or household budget is an itemized summary of expected income and expenses for a defined period of time, typically 1 month. While the word budget is often associated with restricted spending, a budget should really mean more efficient spending. Read the next one.
Yeah.
Past spending and personal debt are considered when creating a personal budget. There are various methods and tools available for creating, using, and adjusting a personal budget.
But your first thing is you got to put it in writing. You got to know what you got to go in and coming out. If you don't do that, then you ain't making a budget. Just using it in your head, that ain't going to work. Give me Luke 14 and 28.
The book of Luke, chapter 14 and verse 28. For which of you intending to build a tower, sitteth not down first and counteth the cost?
So, which of you intend to go buy a car and don't count the cost? You got to count the cost, you know? Like right now, That old truck I got, it smokes when I start it up some, right? Man, I sure want another vehicle. But you know what I had to do? I had to sit down, I had to write all my bills and stuff down, all my expenses, and see, man, do I got enough money to afford another truck? You know, right now, it's a little gray. So I know with my finances, I'm not even finna worry about trying to get a vehicle right now. So more likely, when I pull my truck up out there and we get ready to start up, you guys might see a little smoke from time to time. I'm going to roll with it, you know. But I know within my finances that right now is not a good time for me to try to add another vehicle, okay? But if you don't do that, how you going to know? But if in my mind tell me, well, I want another vehicle. My mind tell me that real bad, you know. But when I put it on paper, it don't look so good. So that's what you got to do. You got to be able to create a budget and making sure knowing where you at on everything. Count the costs. Can you afford it? Can you afford the insurance? Can you afford the tires for it? You know, matter of fact, my youngest son, he want another vehicle right now. He sent me pictures of vehicles probably what? Once a week or twice a week or something. He think he can afford it, right? But right now, I pay the liability on his little car. So I told him, if he get another car, he got to pay the insurance. So once he got to pay that insurance on that car, and what is he, 19, 20? So if he go get a car, even if he can make the payment, the insurance is going to be high. He probably going to pay more on the insurance than what he going to pay for the car payment. So have you counted the cost, you know? So you got to do it. Anytime I get ready to buy a vehicle, before I drive it off the lot, I call my insurance agent. I say, hey, how much is this going to cost me? If you don't do that, you ain't counting the cost. Because if they tell you that your insurance going to be double than what you're paying now, and you didn't count the cost before you get that truck or car, what you going to do? You're going to be mad. But once you sign your name on the paper, what happens? It's yours. So whatever that rate is, you got to pay that rate. So the scriptures say count the cost. Was that it on that?
I'll read it again. For which of you intending to build a tower should have knocked down first and counted the cost, whether he have sufficient to finish it?
Come on, read.
Verse 29. Lest happily after he have laid the foundation and is not able to finish it, all that behold it begin to mock him.
So the scriptures tell us count the cost. So no matter what you do in life, count the cost and make sure you can do it. Even if I get ready to take a trip and want to go to Japan or wherever I want to go, you need to make sure you got enough money to do it. Give me, go back to the budget. Let's go to the next slide right fast.
Why budget? Budgeting is the first step on the road to financial success. Controlling your day-to-day finances allows you to do the things you want to do. Decide to start a budget. Income, debt, net worth, determine average recurring monthly expense, place information into a database.
And so that database can be just taking and writing it down on a piece of paper. The scripture told you earlier, put all things in writing. Come on, next slide.
You got to move the picture off so I can. Balancing income and expenses. Start budgeting now. Don't wait until you're financially on your feet to begin to budget. A budget is nothing more than the activity of balancing income versus expenses.
So just imagine if you was working a job we just gonna say you made $8 an hour. And if you didn't budget your money at $8 an hour and you got a job making $30 an hour, do you think that person gonna budget? Who all say no? Who all say yeah? If you know the average, if you don't budget your little money, now once you get that bigger money, it's just like winning the lottery. If one of you guys won $1 million, and if you didn't have no budget structure or something set up, you probably gonna blow the million. So over the little things we got to make sure that we, taking a budget over the little small things we got, So start now. I'm not gonna lie to you. I wish somebody would have went over this stuff with me earlier. How to try to work on my credit, how to try to get my things and stuff prepared and stuff. Didn't nobody show us that when we was younger, Next slide.
How to begin. If you haven't budgeted before or you feel you don't have a good idea of where your money is going, for the next month, write down everything you spend and any time you receive money.
What scripture was that? What did we read that at? What you got, O'Mel? So put all things in writing. Know what you got going in and coming out. Come on. Next slide.
Monthly tracking tool.
And so I just put this example together. I've got a spreadsheet. Anybody that wants this spreadsheet, I can email it to you, and you can put your monthly expenses in this spreadsheet, and you can sit here, you can play with it, and let it calculate and stuff for you, okay? So if that's something that you guys would like to have, you can get with me, and I can get you that spreadsheet where you can do a monthly tracking and stuff of your finances and stuff to see what you got coming in. If you don't use a computer, then you just do it the old-fashioned way. We got a planner, a yearly planner. Every month, all the bills are rolled on that date. You could do it old-fashioned. So somebody that don't have a computer or don't want to use this technology, still no excuse. Give me Proverbs 10:4 right fast. We can't be slack when it comes down to want to take care of our finances.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 10 and verse 4. He becometh poor that dealeth with a slack hand, but the hand of the diligent maketh rich.
So we got to be diligent over our finances. We got to, no matter what you got to be diligent to use your money wisely, what you got. I don't care if it's a little bit. Use that money wisely. Go to Ecclesiastes 9 and 10. Don't be slack with what we got,
The book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 9 and verse 10. Whatsoever thy hand findeth to do, do it with thy might.
Take care of your budget. Take care of your finances. Come on.
For there is no work, nor device, nor knowledge, nor wisdom in the grave, whither thou goest.
So while we're here on this earth, let's make sure we're creating a budget, creating a plan, so we can have something to leave our kids and stuff. If you don't work on it yourself, who else gonna do it for you? You got to look at, like, say, for example, and I'm telling you guys, I'm cutting myself every which way. Like right now, I'm bleeding left and right, because, like I say, I've been working with my wife, talking and stuff, so I can try to stay on track, so I don't overspend. But it's like if you don't plan something out and look at it further in life, it's like you just planning for that moment, just to spend. So we got to want something better for ourselves. Go to Sirach 37 and 16. Go to the next slide. Sirach 37 and 16.
The book of Sirach, chapter 37 and verse 16. Let reason go before every enterprise, and counsel before every action.
Who can explain that to me? Who can explain that? Read again for him.
Let reason go before every enterprise, and counsel before every action.
Who want to take a stab at that? Now just remember, we're talking about budgeting. What you got, Caleb? I like that. Anybody got anything they want to add to it? What you got? Stand up for me. Hold on. Let's let them get you the mic so we can hear you real good.
Yeah, Shalom, officer. Think about what you're investing your money in, and if it's gonna benefit you on down the road, or if it's just gonna be like a one-hit wonder. Like try to put your money into something that's gonna like last, and be able to, help you. Maybe there's a rainy day will come up. Like always have something, like some kind of collateral, even if it's not money. Always have something, as collateral that you can use to get money on a rainy day.
I like that. Both of the answers was good. Read that again.
Let reason go before every enterprise, and counsel before every action.
So in our budget, in our finances, when you get ready to make a purchase or whatever you get ready to do, counsel. Let reason go before every enterprise. Seek counsel when you finna get ready to make a big purchase or do something that you haven't done before. Get counsel on it. Research it. When I got ready to buy the house here a few months ago, I started researching. Officer Messiah bought the house. So when I found out he bought the house, I call you. I think immediately because he already had went through it. So once you know somebody have done something, reach out and research it. Let counsel go before every enterprise. Anything you do, if you don't understand it, reach out. I'm giving you the scriptures to put with it, with your budget, with your finances and stuff. And it was a great point that you made with that resources. I think I didn't write this down, but Ecclesiastes, I think it's like 11 and 1. Is that what 1 and 2? Read that Ecclesiastes 11 and 1.
The book
and
of
2.
The book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 11 and verse 1. Cast thy bread upon the waters, for thou shalt find it after many days. Give a portion to 7, and also to 8, for thou knowest not what evil shall be upon the earth.
Can anybody break that down for me? Read it again.
Cast thy bread upon the waters, for thou shalt find it after many days. Give a portion to 7, and also to 8, for thou knowest not what evil shall be upon the earth.
So, if you have a portion of your money, go ahead. You was finna. Okay, go ahead.
It's basically saying put finances back for like a rainy day.
You hitting it?
Yeah, like put your finances back for a rainy day because you never know what type of evil might come. You will have that money that you have saved, you know what I'm saying, to keep you afloat.
Okay. You there?
This is it says what is it? Cast thy bread upon the waters. I think basically what it's saying is like don't put all your chips in one basket. Kind of spread out. You know, if you have some money to invest in one thing, invest it in that, invest it in another thing, because maybe whatever you invested in the first time, maybe that falls apart, and then you have the second thing to fall back on in case the first one doesn't work out.
You're absolutely correct. And that's what it's saying. You know, we gotta learn to try to how to put our money, you know, save our money. Do anybody here know about stocks? Anybody deal with stocks? I'm talking about deal with stocks. I'm talking about trading that's making money in stocks. Because, hey, I want you to get with me because I want you to teach me. We're trying to learn. But just what you just said, take your money and try to split your money up. Do different things with your money and stuff. So when times get hard and stuff, don't just spend all your money up. We can't do that. We got to make sure that we take care of our money and stuff. I'm giving you through the scriptures. This is what the scripture's saying, you know? And this is what I'm trying to learn, you know, for myself. You know, whether it be investing in, like right now, I want to try to learn what can I invest in. Whether it be the stocks, whether it be real estate, whether it be trucking, whatever it is, what can I invest in? What can I take my money and split my money up that can try to give me a residual income? How many of you guys are thinking like that? That's the mindset we got to be thinking. How can we take our money and cut our money up and make our money work for us and stuff? If we want to build a nation, if you constantly spend your money up as soon as you get it, like right now, a lot of people go finna get ready to get income tax. Some people already got their income tax already spent before they get it. They already talking about. Some of them ain't talking about paying no debt. Some of them talking about want to buy another car. They want to buy more clothes, another TV. We got to learn how to try to cut our money up and make our money work for us and stuff. If we going to these payday loans and stuff, stop that crap. I fell victim to that stuff years ago. All they doing is just taking our money. We got to get out of that society. Payday loans, title loans, all this stuff that's high interest, we got to get away from that stuff. All this rent-a-center, all these places that's charging all this money and stuff. I think we rented one time. I had a gentleman that he was gonna sell me a refrigerator for $100. I didn't have a refrigerator. And so I needed a refrigerator. So I went to Rent-A-Center and I got the refrigerator. I used that refrigerator. When he say, he got the refrigerator, I bought the refrigerator. It lasts me several years. So, but just to go in there, just to go rent that refrigerator, how much extra you got to pay for the refrigerator? You know, so we got to take our money and use our money wisely and stuff. If we don't, we're not getting ahead and stuff. We got to. But I thought about that scripture when you was talking about let counsel go before every enterprise. You got something, Austin?
This. Yeah, no, that's real. That renter center stuff, title loans, what we don't understand, we don't factor in the risk. It's the risk when you going out there doing those things. So I fell victim to that. Before I even came into the truth, I had a truck. I paid it off, went and did a title loan. I lost my job that next week. They picked that truck up. Now who can I help now? And I was looking for the scripture to say, you fall into the same pit when you try to help somebody else out. Then you find y'all both in the pit now. So who can I help out now? I don't have no transportation. So I had to reach out, to my family during that time, and they end up helping me get my truck back. But I didn't factor in the risk when you're dealing with money. So always keep that in mind, the risk. Just like he said, can you afford that new car? Can you afford this? Can you afford that? Don't go out and get these title loans. You notice that these Tennessee Quick Cash and payday loans, it's in our neighborhood. They preying on us. They don't have those places in Franklin, Brentwood, because those people, they don't play them games with them, right? So we got to factor in the risk when you're dealing with money.
And it's funny talking about those payday places. I don't know what that one is that I think it be open 24 hours. It be open 24 hours. When I was in the country, I didn't see that. But then when I moved out here and I seen them open 24 hours, that's crazy. 24 hours a day getting your money. 24 hours a day getting your money.
Like Advanced Financial, they say the money order is free, but it's only if you take cash. So if you don't got cash, they make you use the ATM, and they charge you like $3.50 to get money out the ATM, and then you can get the money order. Man, they always open. It's like on my side of town, it's like two of them over there. It's one on Tiny Town, and it's one on Fort Campbell. Advanced Financial 24/7.
But I had never seen them open. I've never seen a title payday loan place open 24 hours till I moved down here in this area. Never. So, but it shows you how much volume that they getting that they can stay up in 24 hours. So, like I say, this is where we're losing our money at, giving our money to these people and stuff, okay? Don't get me wrong, like I say, I've been there. I've done it. But I thank the Most High for blessing me to be able to provide that I don't have to do that no longer, okay? Now, that renter center, I'm just going to tell you this now. I ain't never done that, but that one time. It didn't take me long enough. When they used to send that little brochure out to the house, and you look on the brochure and look down in the fine print, and you go see a Nintendo, right? And you know if a Nintendo costs $3.99, but then you go look at the price $9.99 down there. Once they add up, they actually add it up for you. And you looking at how much the total payout on that thing, like, man, that's crazy. But our people, we want big TVs, we want the furniture, we want everything. Hurry up, we want it right now. What you got?
Another thing about these advanced finances, before I bought my house, I was doing one just to boost my credit up. But like once you refinance, like it'll work. You'll see your credit climbing. But once you refinance, it's like it'll run your credit score, and you drop your credit 18 points, and it's like it's worthless. You know what I'm saying?
But then you got to ask yourself, how much interest are you paying for it?
Right. The interest is what you're using to boost your credit up. You know what I'm saying? But it's really worthless.
And then you look at, I see these cats now, they got this these tires where you can rent the tire, the rims and stuff, rent and roll. So you take people that want to get tires, rims to put on their car so bad that they're going to go pay all this money for rims. Guys, like I say, I'm just trying to put something on your mind that we can grow as a nation. You know, even here in Nashville, what can we do? I seen one thing on Facebook that I think it was 4 guys or 5 guys. They took their money and they put their money together for 2 years. Now, once they put their money together, each week everybody put in the same amount of money. 2 years. Now they took that money and rolled it over into investment. But if you blowing your money, how you gonna do that? You can't. I've seen my sister. She won a little lottery money. When she won the lottery money, she went and bought her car. She went and got a title loan on the car. The money that she won, she paid cash for the car. She turned around and got the title loan on the car, and couldn't pay the title loan and lost the car. Now that don't even make sense. She had something that was hers. But we got to think about what's the chief things in life. Give me Sirach 29 and 21. We got to think about what's chief for us in life. I probably got off on my spreadsheet, but give me that right fast.
The book of Sirach, chapter 29 and verse 21. The chief thing for life is water.
So we got to have water. So with water, we know we got to have a water bill now, because you ain't even getting water for free. Come on.
And bread.
And bread. So you got to have money to be able to provide for food, for bread. Come on.
And clothing.
So you got to have money to be able to put clothing on your back for your kids and stuff. Come on.
And a house to cover shame.
So we got to have a house. Those are the chief things in life. Come on.
Better is the life of a poor man in a mean cottage than delicate fare in another man's house.
So it's better for us to have our own place than to go be living with somebody else. But we know we got to have those chief things in life. So with those chief things in life, that's what you should be setting your mind up for. How can I afford the chief things in life? Right now, with rent, everybody got to have some place to stay. Everybody. So you're going to have rent or you're going to have a mortgage. And right now, like when I looked at coming down here in Nashville, some of the places that I went to, she told me, she said, well, the rent is this much, but soon as that lease come up, we finna get ready to come up. They take a assessment of the area and stuff and see what the rent is. Now they keep raising the rent up. So, Lord's will, we can strive for ownership to have our own place and stuff. It's not hard. Work on your credit. If you need to repair your credit, we got ways to repair your credit. You can do it yourself. You ain't got to go pay nobody $500, $600, $1,000 to repair your credit. You can do it yourself. If your credit score right now is a 610, if you work on your credit, in a year's time, you can get your credit up higher. If you want to do it, but you got to want to do it. It takes discipline. But making sure we're striving for the chief things in life. Is a car a chief thing in life? Why you say not, Brother Ferris?
Because you can use public transportation, you can use anything to get around with.
I agree with you, but you got to have a means of transportation to go to work. So if you stay out a little further and you can't use the public transportation, then now you got to have transportation, right? We as a nation, we got to be careful on the going out purchasing cars. If you go out and look at a car, they're going to approve you. They're approving everybody now. But how much they're approving you for? Yeah, you're going to walk out there with a car. But are you walking out with 25% interest, 18% interest? So I'm going to tell you now, I've been there. But I have worked myself to not to be there now, okay? I'm going to be honest with you. If I do go purchase another new vehicle, you know what I want? When I see these advertisements where they say 0% interest for 72 months or 60 months, that's what I want. You know, because it would be nice not to give them no interest. But they are proving everybody. But if you coming out there paying 25%, that's a lot of interest, man. Somebody paying 25 versus somebody paying 6%, 7%. By the time you get done paying for the car, it ain't even worth it. So let's make sure we're looking at our numbers and stuff. That's going to help us on our finances and stuff as well, too. What's your interest rate? I know we need the cheap things in life. We need, the house. The car is a necessity if you stay out. But you can use, like Brother Ferris say, the public transportation. But now I'll tell you this here. It goes on to what you can afford. Like I told you, like right now, like my son, the little Honda he got is running. It's got a lot of miles on it, but he don't drive it nowhere. No more than, he might drive it down here to the Sabbath, drive right there in Clarksville. It's running. So, I helped him got the car. If he want another car, he gonna pay for it. I'm gonna tell you that straight. I'm not finna pay for it. So we gotta make sure we can afford it. If you can't afford it, hey, leave it alone. But make sure that we stand within our budget. What else I got on that spreadsheet right fast?
Creating a personal budget. Track your expenses. What do you have to spend? What are you buying that is not a necessity?
Come on. What's the next one?
2 types of expenses. Essential expenses. Must to have in order to live.
So that goes with the cheap things in life. Come on.
Non-essential expenses. Don't need in order to live.
So what's some non-essential expenses that you need, that you don't need? Some non-essential expenses that we do not have to have. What you got, Ruak?
Some people get all this diamond and they diamonds so they can't afford.
Okay, so you bought your wife some diamonds?
Now I'm just saying.
Okay.
That's what some people do.
Okay, I got you. Who else has something else, a non-essential? What you got, Caleb?
Like TV, big screens in every room, and 15s in your car with 10 amps and all of that.
I agree with you. So you have to get those things as you can afford them, if you can afford them. So that's a non-essential item. What's some more non-essential items that we can do that we can get away from in our month-to-month expenses? What you got, O'Mel?
Expensive iPhones.
Yeah, that's a pretty expensive one. But like right now, like TV, who all got Netflix? Do we need Netflix? We don't really need Netflix.
But officer, it's cheaper than cable though.
It's cheaper than cable. It's cheaper than cable. So I give him that. Like right now when I moved in, we watching apps. Like the news, Channel 5 News. So we do a lot of that. I really want cable. I really want it. That app is just not the same. I've been looking at the budget, but it's like, do I really need it though? You know, I could do without it. What's some other stuff we can do without? Eating out, fast food. Anybody got anything else? What you got, your hosting?
Expensive strong. Like instead of buying like the Hennessy, you could just buy you a bottle of Jack.
Well, hey, if you can't, hey. Hey, and he got a good point. And
Hennessy, the big bottle, 100. So, yeah.
Some of y'all brothers need to buy E&J.
but you know, those are things, you know, that we don't have to have, that we can live without and stuff. So that's stuff that we just need to ask ourselves, you know. And sometimes you might not even be able to buy it, you know. You might not be able. Hey, if your finances don't allow you to buy it, just stay away from it, you know. What else I got on my spreadsheet there? Go to the next one. So the essentials. These are some examples of essentials. Where did we see some of these at earlier? Where did we read this at? Just where about? So the Bible telling us like essential things we need in life and stuff, you know. What's the next thing? Let's give my next slideshow. So right now, like with car maintenance, how many of you guys maintenance your cars? We got to maintenance our cars. I'm gonna tell you now that sometimes I know I'm the worst at trying to maintenance my cars. You know, try to stay on top of them. But if you don't maintenance your car, change your oils and keeping your tires and stuff rotated, it'll definitely cost you in the long run. You know, if you hear your brakes start to rub a little bit, you need to go ahead and jump on it right then and go ahead and get them brakes and stuff together. Otherwise, once it wears out into your rotors and stuff, now you got to change your rotors out, you know. It can save you less money, you know, and stuff. You know, give me the next slide show. Like we said, you know, non-essential, you know, dining out, you know, Starbucks, movies, you know, those items that we just don't have to really buy and stuff, you know. We can do a lot of that stuff at the house, you know. But like the officer say, Netflix is cheaper than having cable and stuff, you know. What's my next thing I got? So, you know, so sometimes, you know, you got to work on trying to put maybe some money back, you know. How many of you guys got an emergency fund put up? We need to work on trying to get us an emergency fund put aside and start out with $1,000. If you got that $1,000, that $1,000 can take you that. If your car break down, now you could tap into that $1,000. If the hot water heater mess up, you could tap into that $1,000. If you don't have the $1,000 put up, work a plan to try to start to get your $1,000 put up. Everybody that's getting income tax money, I'm going to say this again, everybody's getting income tax money, you could take $1,000 out your income tax money and put that money to your emergency fund. Because that money just coming back to you. It's like extra. So you can start your emergency fund as soon as you get your income tax, take that $1,000 right off, put it to the side. So let's try to make sure we're trying to stay out of debt, you know, as much as possible. Give me Proverbs 22 and 27. Did I read that?
No, sir. You said verse 27?
7, I meant Proverbs 22 and 7.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 22 and verse 7. The rich ruleth over the poor, and the borrower is servant to the lender.
You guys believe that? When we go out here and we make debt, we got to pay interest. the Bible telling us what we need to do. Try to stay out of debt as much as we can, you know. And like I told you, when I was sitting down putting these scriptures and stuff together, looking at it, you know, I'm cutting myself left and right, you know. So it's not just for you, but it's for myself. Give me Proverbs 3:27.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 3 and verse 27. Withhold not good from them to whom it is due, when it is in the power of thine hand to do it.
Come on.
Say not unto thy neighbor, go and come again, and tomorrow I will give.
So if you guys borrow something from your brother, your sister, and you tell your brother and your sister, I'm gonna pay you but tomorrow, and you know you got the money in your pocket, don't put your brother and sister off. And I'm gonna be honest with you. It's also wise not to put your bills off. If you make a bill, pay your bill. I'm gonna give you a story that happened to me. I had a hospital bill. I told the lady I was going to pay the hospital bill. I think my wife, you told me, she said, call and set the hospital bill up. So when I set the hospital bill up, I wasn't paying the hospital bill. I asked her, I said, can I pay $50 a month? She said, no. She said, I can gunch your check and get more than that. So I made the agreement to pay $100 a month to her, right? At the time when we was building the house, I was taking all my money. I felt I had to put into the house. But I did make the agreement to pay her, right? I did agree. So next when I went and looked at my check, I don't know how long it was. In my check, you know, they go to direct deposit. So when I got the stub, I looked at my check. For that week, I think it was probably like $120, $130 out of my check. Boy, you talking about somebody was mad? I said, man, what's going on? So I had to go up there to the front office. I was like, what's this here? She said, oh, you got a garnishment. So this lady, she took out $120, $130 something a week. And I had a promise to pay $100 a month. She got me. Well, no, I got myself. So if you make a bill and you make a promise to pay your bills, pay your debt, because you promised to pay. In the same way we gonna do Esau, we gotta do our brothers and sisters. So if you get some money from your brothers and sisters, and you know you got the money, give your brothers and sisters their money. Don't push them off to the next day, saying you ain't got the money or you want to blow it on something else. I'll tell you another example. I had a lady, she wrote a letter. She say, silence is what ruined your credit. I didn't understand that, you know. But a lot of times when we don't want to answer the call and we know we owe this person or whatever, now it's just going to hurt you. Every time you get behind on your debt, your bills and stuff, they just going to put it on your, if it go more than 30 days, then they're going to put it on your credit report. So if you can catch it before it get 30 days, then now you can save that from getting on your credit report. All you got to do is communicate with them. Sometimes they just pick up the phone and just say, hey, I can't pay it right now. What can I do? But if you don't do that, then now you just messing yourself up. Give me Romans 13:8. So let's try to stay out of debt as much as possible.
The book of Romans, chapter 13 and verse 8.
Let me get it right fast. Go ahead.
Owe no man anything.
Come on, see it again.
Owe no man anything.
So the Bible tells us how to conduct with our finances and stuff. Come on.
But to love one another. For he that loveth another hath fulfilled the law.
So if we love one another, we're going to treat our brothers, we treat ourselves. So if we know if you make a debt with your brother, you borrow some money from your brother, you know you got the money, pay him his money back. Fulfill the law. Give him his money back. He shouldn't have to hound you down for his money and stuff.
And to your point, go to Sirach 4 in the last verse.
The book of Sirach, chapter 4 and verse 31. Let not thy hand be stretched out to receive.
So it says, don't let your hand be stretched out to receive, meaning what? Taking out loans, borrowing money from your brothers, borrowing money from your sisters. It said, don't have your hand always stretched out. Read.
And shut when thou shouldest repay.
That's clear. You done got this loan. You done did this. You done borrowed some money from your brother. But when it's time to repay, now your hand is shut. Now your hand is not out to give back to your brother or to give back to the company where you borrowed the money from. And now you find yourself in a jam, right?
Great precept. Go ahead.
Just to go what they were saying before about loaning.
The book of Sirach, chapter 29 and verse 4.
Read.
Many, when a thing was lent them, reckoned it to be found, and put them to trouble that helped them.
So sometimes if you loan somebody some money, they'll act like, nah, I don't remember getting that money from you. I found this money. I ain't got it from you. Keep reading.
Verse 5. Till he hath received, he will kiss a man's hand.
So he's going to be asking you for money. He's going to be the nicest person in the world. Hey, bro, I really need this money, bro, and I appreciate it, bro. I'll do anything for you. Keep reading.
And for his neighbor's money, he will speak submissively.
Read.
But when he should repay, he will prolong the time.
He'll prolong the time. So when it's time to pay up, he'll say, man, it's just been a week, bro. I need a little bit more time on it. Then that week, come around, he's going to prolong it again. Bro, it's just, I just got it from you last week, bro, So trust me, I'm speaking of experience. When you borrow something from somebody, pay them back. It's very important to pay them back. Keep reading.
And return words of grief and complain of the time.
So they're going to be complaining the whole time. Why you keep asking me for this money, bro? I said I'm going to give it back to you. Read the next verse.
If he prevail, he shall hardly receive the half.
Right.
And he will count as if he had found it.
Read.
If not, he have deprived him of his money.
You ain't going to get your money back. Read.
And he have gotten him an enemy without cause.
And now you have bitterness building in you because now you done lost your brother. You done lost your sister or a friend because they won't give you your money. They keep making excuses. That's all I have.
What did you stop at there?
Verse 6.
Go ahead and finish it.
Go ahead and finish.
He payeth him with cursings and railings, and for honor he will pay him disgrace.
So he is going to treat you bad the whole time. You done lost a brother or sister because y'all dealing falsely with money, unjust balances.
Go ahead, read that last one there.
Verse 7. Many therefore have refused to lend for other men's ill dealing, fearing to be defrauded.
That's heavy. So basically, you mess it up for somebody else, So, and that's why in the body, this is the order. We don't want people going around begging each other, okay? Because we don't want something to happen and you fall out with each other. So the order is this. If something that you need, come to leadership and let's try to run it through leadership, okay? Run it through leadership that way, because if something happened to two people, now they're going to fall out. Down leadership, we don't know nothing about it. So, I'm not saying that if I need Nicodemus, if I need to borrow $5,000 from Nicodemus, I'm not saying, Nicodemus, you can't give it to me. But I just want to do it in the right, proper way, okay? I want to do it in the right, proper way, because if I get Nicodemus money and then I don't want to pay him back, what you think Nicodemus going to do? Your host, what you think he going to do? He going to want to do what?
Put hands on you, probably. 5,000.
And he probably going to want to do that. Some brothers probably gonna want to put hands on brother less than 5,000, way less. So anytime that we ask brothers, look, if something going on and people need something in the body or something, that's why we put our arms in. That's why we ask everybody to put their arms in and stuff, so you can try to come and get help and stuff. But if it is more, or you want to go to your brother or whatever, at least, like you say, try to get it. And the scriptures say put it right. No matter what you do, try to put it right. So that's the advice I'm going to give you guys. Make sure, look, don't be trying to do things secretly. And we've seen a whole bunch of people, they'll go and they'll be running around to this person, this person, this person. But you know what happened? It get revealed. Because once they can't pay that person back, now this person go talking, this person go talking. So, so there's nothing secret, But that's why that's put in place. That way we don't have people in the congregation that fall out with one another and stuff, What else did I have? Before you go from there, give me 1 Thessalonians 5 and 12. So would repairing your credit, we're talking about a budget. If you guys don't know how to do these things, we got people in the body that's great with these things. We got people in the body that's great with finances and stuff. Read that right fast.
The book of 1 Thessalonians, chapter 5 and verse 12. And we beseech you, brethren, to know them which labor among you and are over you in the Lord, and admonish you.
And so get to know one another while we in the body and stuff, Let's learn and prove one another, see what each other, what qualities, what traits do somebody got, Somebody in another school, in Israel, we got everything, okay? We great. But you got to know what services are out there for you and stuff. If you just come in here every Sabbath and then just run out, how you going to know? So get to know what's amongst us and stuff, Learn and stuff, Because, hey, amongst us, there's nothing we can't do. What else do I have on my slide?
It says balancing income and expenses. At the end of the month, break everything down into categories. Is your income greater than your expenses? Yes, great, then you can save. No, we need to look at what we can be limited or cut.
But if you don't know how to look at your budget or don't make a budget, then you're not going to know what's what, okay? So you got to be able to look and make a plan to see what you guys got coming in, what you got going out. If you don't make a plan, all you're doing just spending money. All you're doing just spinning the wheel around. Give me Sirach 2 and 1 right fast.
The book of Sirach, chapter 2 and verse 1. My son, if thou come to serve the Lord, prepare thy soul for temptation.
Come on.
Set thy heart aright, and constantly endure, and make not haste in time of trouble.
So when you come into this walk and you learn who you are, you learn your Israelites, trying to get your budget and stuff together, you might have a little financial trouble, but that's what we're trying to set in place, that you guys can create a budget, create a plan and stuff. So just in time of trouble, that's the time that you need to try to work on trying to get yourself together and stuff, okay? So when things go on, you need to get yourself together before you have trouble in your finances. Work a plan, What's my next slide?
Expenses to income. What can you cut out? Eating out too often? Buying things you don't need?
Come on.
How to save. Pay yourself first.
How many of you guys pay ourselves first? We got to learn to pay ourselves first. We got to. But you can only pay yourself what you got. If you got more going out than you got coming in, you can't pay yourself. So you got to learn how to pay yourself. Come on.
Use automatic transfers. Use payroll deduction. Take advantage of your employer's retirement plan.
On that use automatic transfers, that's setting up your bills to be paid automatically. That really helps because what? Why I'm gonna ask brother OC, why would using automatic transfers help you out?
Shalom leadership, because that the money is already it's basically money already spent, so you wouldn't be able to spend it yourself.
Kind of. With automatic payments, it frees you up from thinking about, oh, I gotta pay this bill, and it allows you to do what? Focus on what? Making money. Focusing on bettering yourself on in other areas instead of focusing on, oh, this bill is coming up. Let me pay this bill. When you got it automatically set up to come out each month, you're not focused on that. You're not worried about that. It makes sense.
What, Nicodemus? You got something?
The automatic transfer automatically helps you. For instance, it comes out right then instead of 2 and 3 days later. So when you look at your balance, you still think you got that money in there. So therefore, you spend more than what you actually got. So the automatic transfer, it comes out right then. So you know what your balance is right there.
And with the automatic, you know, like setting things up on automatic, it helps you to not to forget stuff too, you know, like what the officer's saying. Because sometimes you be meaning to pay stuff. You have the money to pay it, but your mind, you got other things on your mind, and now you forget. Now what happens? Now you got a $25, $30 late fee. And I tell you something else I've seen. I seen this years ago. I know people that just go to the bank. They will go to the ATM machine, go get money out because they got overdraft protection on there. So they would rather pay a $25 fee for every time they go get money out than budget your money. So we got to get away from those things, guys, okay? What else I had on the slide right fast? That payroll deduction, that's a good thing. Like, say if you're trying to save, you could take your money, if it's $25 a week or whatever you want to put it, you get paid every 2 weeks. Now you can send that money right to the bank and not even touch it. You can have a whole nother separate bank than your other bank. Put that money over there. Now you don't actually see that money into your bank account. That payroll deduction, you know, it can help you and stuff, you know. What else I have on the next slide?
Listen, you want to read down?
Yeah.
Why do budgets fail? Negative attitude, lack of motivation, loss of employment, unrealistic expectations.
Give me Proverbs 21 and 20 to kind of go along with that.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 21 and verse 20. There is treasure to be desired, and oil in the dwelling of the wise, but a foolish man spendeth it up.
A foolish man don't give a crap. You just spend your money up fast as you get it. We got to learn to reverse our mindset and try to think, how can we build a nation? So even with having your $1,000 emergency fund, it'd be nice to try to work on to try to have you some money set aside for your bills. You know, like what's your monthly bills? So say, for example, if your monthly bills occur $1,000 a month with everything, besides your emergency fund of $1,000, if you could have a 3-month of bill money or your bill expenses set aside, if you ever lose your job, get laid off, or something with this COVID come up, now what's going to help you? That money you got set aside. So don't get me wrong. I know it's tough, but if we can work to try to have a plan, then now we can try to have something set aside. we gotta evolve our minds to thinking more better. You know, how can we have more things set up for our finances? You know, instead of just spend. You got to think about who all think about our forefather Joseph. How many years did he prepare? How many years did he prepare for the famine and stuff that was coming upon the land? Anybody? No, nobody know the years right off. Go to Genesis 41. Go to 41 and 30.
The book of Genesis, chapter 41 and verse 30. And there shall arise after them 7 years of famine.
Start up a little higher.
29 or
start up at 28.
Verse 28. This is the thing which I have spoken unto Pharaoh. What God is about to do, he showeth unto Pharaoh. Behold, there come 7 years of great plenty throughout all the land of Egypt.
So how many years was it? How many? Come on, read it right fast. Read on down some more.
And there shall arise after them 7 years of famine, and all the plenty shall be forgotten in the land of Egypt, and the famine shall consume the land. And the plenty shall not be known in the land by reason of that famine following, for it shall be very grievous. And for that the dream was doubled unto Pharaoh twice. It is because the thing is established by God, and God will shortly bring it to pass.
So think about our forefather Joseph, how he prepared for 7 years. So right now, even like with this COVID that's upon the land, we've been telling everybody, stock your houses, stock your houses. You know, I ain't even going to ask how many of us can make it 7 years. That's a long time, you know. But you think about our forefather Joseph, he had a plan to prepare. So even if you don't have money, having food on your shelf, having tissue on your that's just like money. It's just like you putting it in the bank. Because if you need it, then now you got it. Would you agree? So we can't just learn to live day to day. We got to learn how to prepare even with our household items and stuff, okay? So that example there with Joseph, we see it, you know, we can go back and read in history and stuff, you know? So make sure that we're not just being slack, not preparing stuff for our house and stuff. Give me
So it's funny you bring up Joseph, because go to Genesis 47. This is another thing that Joseph did while in captivity. We got to understand that Joseph was in captivity. All right. Read 47 and 7.
The book of Genesis, chapter 47 and verse 7. And Joseph brought in Jacob, his father, and set him before Pharaoh. And Jacob blessed Pharaoh.
So Jacob did what?
Blessed Pharaoh.
They blessed Pharaoh. Pharaoh was their what? Huh? Say that again. I can't hear you. Somebody stand up and talk.
He was an oppressor.
He was their oppressor. So think about today. Esau is our oppressor. But the Bible says that our forefathers did what? They blessed him. Why? Why? So that they can be able to help their people. Go to Baruch. Go to Baruch 4:1. It's another example. Baruch. So we got to know how to deal in this captivity. The Most High will show you favor through your enemies.
The book of Baruch, chapter 4 and verse 1.
No. 1 verse 11 and 12.
Baruch chapter 1, verse 11. And pray for the life of Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon, and for the life of Belteshazzar, his son, that their days may be upon earth as the days of heaven. And the Lord will give us strength and lighten our eyes, and we shall live under the shadow of Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon, and under the shadow of Belteshazzar, his son, and we shall serve them many days and find favor in their sight.
See that? So you supposed to do what? Pray for your enemies to do what? To be able to help your people. Open up doors for you. How many of y'all know somebody, Esau, that can write grants? But if you cussing them out all day, right? How they're not gonna help you out. The Bible is clearly giving us two examples right here where we pray for our enemies to do what? To be able to help our people. So I'm just throwing this out there. Okay, grants. What else we got? What else can they do, or they are over, that can open up doors for us? What you got, Ruak?
Like you got a problem in this land. Like my wet man, he might be Esau. He still helped me because I pay my rent on time, and he helped me on other things. Like my ex-wife, I had a problem with my ex-wife. He would there talk to the other Lord that helped me out of trouble. You know?
Got you. Okay. Well, what you got, Hoshin? Say that again.
Promotions at your job.
Promotions at your job. And it's not just for yourself. This whole class that Officer Czar is bringing out is not just for your own personal growth. It is for your own personal growth, but why? So you can come back and help your people. After you learn the precepts, Captain Hoshai did a class a while back, and it was titled, Let's Build. After you learn the precepts, after you learn all of these, you know what I'm saying, the law, statutes, and commandments, what's next? What's next? And this is one of the points that he brought out. How can we get further in this captivity? And that's what this class is about.
You know, it's about us building together. You know, give me Proverbs 29 and 18 right fast.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 29 and verse 18. Where there is no vision, the people perish, but he that keeps happy is he.
We got to have a vision. You got to have a vision. We got to have a vision as our individual selves, but we got to have a vision for as a collective, as a nation. If we're not trying to build a nation, then what we doing? So we got to have a vision. I love seeing a vision. I do, you know. Hopefully everybody, you know, you can have a vision for yourself with your finances, you know. I'm going to give you a tip. In the finances, go to Amos 3:3. This is for husband and wife.
The book of Amos, chapter 3 and verse 3. Can two walk together except they be agreed?
You got to think about that, guys. Even in your finances, you got to agree. If you got one person doing this and the other person doing that, you're not agreeing. In order to make your finances successful, you got to agree. One can't be trying to outspend the other one. Because she went and got her nails done, her hair done. Well, I got to do this, I got to do that. You got to work together. You got to agree. If you don't agree and look at your budget, look at your finances, it's not going to work. You got to work together. Go back to my slideshow right fast so I can try to finish up here. Go on and get to like your goals. I think it was like short-term and long-term goals right there. Go back. So when creating a budget, make you guys some plans. Make you have some short-term goals, mid-term, long-term, okay? You know, short-term can be as simple as just setting up your $1,000 emergency fund. It could be as simple as that. That's something short. It don't have to be nothing long, you know. Midterm can be something, you know, we want to go on vacation where you can take your money and say if you want to go to Bahamas or something, that could be a midterm goal. Long term could be a little longer. Say if you want to buy a house. If you know your credit ain't right, now you can start to work on your credit. You can start to put your money and stuff up, get your money saved up for your down payment. Now that's your long-term goal to buy a house. So in 3 years, you can put your long-term goal and say, hey, this is what I want to do. But you got to put in hard work. You can't be slack with doing it, okay? What else I had on there? So, you know, for time's sake, I'm not, you know, going to go through it. But like I say, if anybody would like this information, I can email it to you. Just get with me. I can email it to you. The spreadsheet that I had for as the putting your budget on the tracker, I can email that to you and stuff. But make sure you guys are starting to think, how can you improve your finances? A lot of you might be already doing that. But as a nation, like I told you, we got to have vision. We got to grow. We got to see it to try to go to the next level, okay? Give me Proverbs 13 and 22. I'm going to get ready to wrap up here.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 13 and verse 22. A good man leaveth an inheritance to his children's children.
How many of you guys got that set up? We want to try to set an inheritance that we can leave an inheritance to our family, you know? I had Esau on my old job. He said he wasn't leaving nothing. You know why he wasn't leaving nothing? He say, I ain't finna leave her boyfriend with nothing. She ain't finna get nothing with her boyfriend. So his mindset was he didn't want to have nothing because he didn't want her to have nothing in case he passed before she did. He didn't want her and her boyfriend to have nothing. We can't have a mindset like that, guys. You know, right now, I would definitely love to leave an inheritance, you know, to my son, to my wife, to my youngest son. I would love to have something set up to leave. And that's the mindset that, you know, that I'm looking at. You know, how can I have an inheritance to try to leave them? Whether it be through a life insurance policy, that could be an inheritance. You know, whether it be through land that you have, real estate, that could be an inheritance. But we got to have our mind set to thinking, how can we leave an inheritance to our kids and stuff, you know? Give me Sirach 12 and 3 right fast.
The book of Sirach, chapter 12 and verse 3. There can no good come to him that is always occupied in evil, nor to him that giveth no alms.
So this is what the scriptures say. I didn't say this. So when you sit and you see the scriptures say this here, you see people that don't want to give no alms. Read that again.
There can no good come to him that is always occupied in evil, nor to him that giveth no alms.
So I enjoy giving my alms. You know, hey, the Most High is blessing me. I give him praise. I thank him for it. And the least I can do is pay my alms to support this nation, you know. I hope that you guys feel the same way. So in your budget, think about your alms, you know. Give me Tobit 12 and 8.
The book of Tobit, chapter 12 and verse 8. Prayer is good with fasting and alms and righteousness. A little with righteousness is better than much with unrighteousness.
So Lord's will, I pray that you guys will try to get something out this class. I was putting it together, for myself, because I'm just looking over budget. I'm looking at what are other endeavors that I can do to try to make money. That I'm not just living from paycheck to paycheck. We got to get out that mindset. Like I say, payday loans, going to these rental centers, this rent and roll, the tires and stuff. We got to come up besides that, guys. So hopefully if you get your income tax money, think about budget, think about planning and stuff,
The book of Sirach, chapter 33 and verse 17. Consider that I labor not for myself only, but for all them that seek learning. So in this nation, in this captivity, don't just build up for yourself. Help other people, It might be some other people that just might need some little something, We can help each other, okay? Lord's will, I hope you guys got something out of what I was trying to give you with the budget. I had a lot more on the slideshow, but I was just sitting thinking about it, trying to put the scriptures. We can put the scriptures with budgeting every day. We just got to apply this stuff, okay? So Lord's will, hey, I hope you guys got something out of the class. Let's try to work on budgeting, okay?
We used to scream black power while heroin was pushed. But at the end of the day, nothing's in vain. IUIC has been given a vision. The tents of Judah has risen. Many has attempted the mission. Minor murmuring, omitting, and missing the mark. Just reading that he had the flame of fire in his eyes gave us the spark. We on Paul's mission. We out on the road, purple and gold. From Mexico, Cuba, Haiti, Ghana, Sierra Leone. 144,000 boots banging, concrete crackling. These are our men repented at heart. The scriptures is proof. IUIC, we deliver the truth.